Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, David, or Laugh Now, Die Later, and today we're going to be talking about Hellsing. And I have a very controversial hot take, and that is, if you can't tell from the title, is that Hellsing isn't really that good. Now, this is a series that I've talked to with a few friends that do enjoy it, and they recommended it to me. And so I decided, hey, let me buy the deluxes. I feel like they're really nice. Dark Horse does great with their deluxe editions like Berserk and Hellsing, just as good quality. So I was like, let me just wait. The last one comes out in June. Let me just go ahead and buy the first two, wait for the last one to come out, and then just binge read it all. So the third one came out during my break from YouTube, and I decided to just pick it up and binge read all three. So I did that over a course of a few days. I just sat there and only read Hellsing, nothing else, just to wrap it around and just enjoy the series, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I 100% enjoyed it, because I didn't, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I 100% hate it, because I don't. If you look on my annual list, I rated a 7.7, which is a good rating, but I feel like a lot of things in the story, or not in the story, but in this manga itself, kind of carried it to be a 7.7, and I'm gonna explain that right now. So I have two dislikes, main dislikes, and I'm gonna go into them, and I have two likes for this manga. And the two dislikes that to me hurt the series a little bit was, one, I think some of the characters designs were kind of lackluster. I feel like Alucard had a great design. A few other characters were cool, like the priest. I don't know if his name was Andrew, but some of the priests did from the Vatican. But literally almost every character in Hellsing had glasses, and to me it just felt redundant. It felt repetitive. It just felt like everyone had long hair and glasses, and even if they had short hair, they had glasses. It was just really annoying to me how the designs weren't as unique as I expected. Now granted, yes, glasses are only this part of your design. You have facial design, you have clothing design, but it's like there's a lot of facial expression panels, and literally everyone had glasses. So I kind of found that annoying, considering I have glasses, so I don't know why I should be annoyed with that, but it didn't feel as unique as it could have been. And then the second part, which I'm gonna get a little bit more in depth, is I didn't really like the story. You can disagree with me on this, but I think it kind of just reminded me of something I've seen before in an American movie. I've seen an American movie where there's a vampire that hunts vampires. Alucard, for example, he's a vampire that works with the Hellsing organization to kill other vampires, pretty much, right? And then you have the Nazis that are trying to take over the world after World War II again, this time using vampires, Nazi vampires, pretty much, instead of other things that I've seen where the Nazis either create some zombies, create vampires. It's just something I've seen before. It's not something that is new. It's not something that is refreshing to me, like a blue box, for example, but it's something to me that I have seen a countless number of times, whether it's in shows, American TV, whether if it's in American Hollywood movies. It's just something I've seen before, so it was just this is alright. It's I know what's going to happen. They're going to win at the end of the day, defeat the Nazis, prevent the Nazis from taking over the world, and that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much what happened for the most part. So I just didn't like the story like that, and those 2 points really brought it down to below an 8 right there, and it probably would have dragged it down below a 7 for me. But what saved that series for me was two things. One, Alucard. I think Alucard as a character was really dope. I think he was really dark. There were moments where he just was a really mysterious character to me. He was, the fact that he was so dark, and it was just very interesting to me how a vampire can just turn on his own kind and help a human in the Hellsing organization defeat vampires. You learn why this happens, and you learn how he gets into the Hellsing organization and all of this. I just found that really interesting, though, as to Alucard helping them, and then later I thought he was kind of pretty chill and nonchalant, but then you get to the scenes the scene in Brazil, what is that? The scene in Brazil. And he just goes absolutely off with Hellsing's permission to just go ahead and just rip these guys' heads off. Alucard is dark. He is violent when he needs to be. and he just crazed violence at times in this story, especially in the later parts. And you see a lot of the darkness of Alucard, especially in a lot of these panels, where it started off with him just shooting a gun that can kill the vampires, to like him using his own power. There were panels of like him, like his body like turning into some black blob that like had a bunch of eyes, and it was just really frightening for the people looking at it. So he used the people's fear to his advantage to then attack them while they're just standing there frozen. And it was just really cool how he used his power. I really did like that. He made you feel like he made you feel like he died a few times in the story. Like you thought like some enemy like beat him or defeated him, and he just tricked them, and he, you know, did his thing. And then the only other thing that I think is really dope, or two things but they go together, is one, the fight scenes. I think they're orchestrated really well. I think some of the fights are really easy to read, in my opinion. And the artwork for me was really clean, and also just like I mentioned before, with like the dark parts where Alucard, they were really dark, and I just really liked the artwork for the cleanliness and for some of the panels in the fight scenes, and just the movements. I just think the mangaka did a really good job with the artwork. I personally liked it a lot, and you will be seeing, of course, clips from the anime Hellsing Ultimate, and also panels from the manga, but you'll see the artwork. And what I mean is, I think the artwork is pretty damn good, and that's pretty much it. So those are literally the 2 dislikes and the 2 likes I have for Hellsing. Again, I rated it a 7.7. To me, it was a decent series. It was really helped a lot to me from the artwork and the and characters like Alucard, and the darkness that it started to bring, especially when the more violent scenes came. It's definitely not for the lighthearted. It's definitely not for kids. This manga, well, it got really dark and violent, but it's just really good when it comes to artwork and some characters like Alucard and the priest, like I mentioned before. Despite me thinking the story was generic, at the end of the day, when it came due to the fights and everything, I think I did enjoy it kind of like in the middle. Like, I didn't enjoy it 100%, like, wow, this is the best thing ever. I didn't read it and be like disgusted by it, like, all right, this is kind of trash. I just thought of it in the middle, like, hey, I was expecting it to be better. It's not that bad. It's not that great. It's alright. So that's what I rated it. I rated it as an alright series. And that's pretty much it. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I would like to know what you guys think of Hellsing in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Always like getting new subscribers, talking to new people about series that I, review or recommend. And stay tuned for more content. The day this video comes out next week, I'm going to be on vacation in Puerto Rico, so I'm only going to have one video out that week, because that video is going to be something that I think you guys will enjoy. It's kind of a recommendation video. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think you guys will enjoy it. It's not just on one manga, so I was going to put some work into it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, Hellsing 7.7 for me. Let me know what you guys think of it. Like, comment, subscribe. And that's pretty much it for me. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.